Hello and welcome to Dodge, Parry and Roll, your fortnightly Australian independent video game and existential crisis show. I'm your host for today on this very special episode of Dodge, Parry and Roll, Joshua LaRosa, joined by my friend Vinnie Chance. Vinnie, how are you yet again?
How am I yet again? I'm pretty well. I'm actually good energy, high energy.
High energy.
I'm feeling. Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm well. I don't know if
You
I'm
well?
At what point are you great? Like, has anyone ever said I'm great? Or they just go, I'm good? Like, even if you're bad, you're good, you know?
Yeah. It's like pizza. When it's bad, it's still good.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a very special episode of Dodge, Parry and Roll. This isn't our usual hour-long ramble fest. You might be wondering... No, you won't be wondering, because you'll be seeing this first. But we're actually doing a back-to-back episode recording, because Vinny is off to Japan as of Wednesday, as of time of recording. So we've just done a full episode, which you can check out in a fortnight's time. I must say, it's a great episode.
You're future plugging?
I've future plugged and I back plugged. Oh, Josh is back plugged.
Yeah.
Oh, God, off the rails already. But yes, this is a special one-off kind of shorter episode, but today is kind of focused on our PAX experience, so to speak.
Yep.
Vinny and I went to PAX Australia on Friday. Just the one day. I can't be around these people for 3 days. Not you, because we went together, but around...
Yeah.
Just around.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of sights, sounds, and
Smells.
But Vinny and I did go down to PAX Australia with a...
With a what?
No, the reason why I'm hesitant is because it's always like I talk about...
Should I introduce it?
You do it, but the reason why I was hesitating, just because I know she listens, is because I openly talk about Naomi on this show, but I don't know where I'm at with talking about other people. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, yeah.
It's not my place to bring this person onto an internet forum, is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll allow you to do that. You go. I'll butt plug. You go.
Yeah, you butt plug. So I originally, so my girlfriend.
You're like, yep.
Yeah. My girlfriend Sam. So we actually ended up going PAX together. I bought her a ticket. She's a gamer in some sense. You know, she likes her Fallout, her Legend of Zelda, like that kind of jazz. But she's never been to PAX before, so I thought it'd be really cool to take her. So I bought her a ticket.
And also haven't met me before, which is probably somewhat more
she
important.
really liked you. She
really
liked you. Yeah, she thought you were great. She thought you were so easy to talk to. She might have a new favorite host on the new favorite podcaster.
Yeah.
But so I brought Sam, and then Josh met Sam for the first time. It was a lot of fun. We went out for lunch and had a bit of a sit down chat. She gave us some good ideas about she gave us feedback on the podcast. She does listen and
I found that so funny. Like, I really I'm like, you've got a little bit of the advantage in this discussion right now because you know more about me. Like, you've heard it live. You've heard me say things about friends and family.
She had all the hand.
She had all the hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's lovely. I was, it's funny because she's going to hear this, but I messaged you afterwards. I'm like, man, she's great. Like, so easy to talk to. Like, let's hook up. That's not the word I'm looking for, but let's get together.
Let's tee it up.
Let's tee up something when you're back from Japan. But no, that was an awesome experience, and it was funny talking to someone that is like listened, and I'm like, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's what you said initially. You're like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. And now she's hearing about butt plugs. But PAX. So yeah, Vinny and Sam were at PAX, and then I kind of say, hey, I'm somewhat interested in coming. Yeah. So we teed something up on the Friday, and we spent the day at PAX, hanging around, playing games. Just for me, like I'll kick things off first. Here is I don't usually go to conventions. I'm not much of a convention guy, unless I got the opportunity to go to very specific conventions in which there wouldn't be any stopping me if that was to happen. It used to be E3 back in the day. I think now I'm making it my goal to get to TGS. I think TGS has seen a bit of a resurgence, and I think a lot of the games being made out of Japan are just super interesting right now, and I would love... So I think that's the next teeing up is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've already run this past Naomi, literally today, because I mentioned you going to Japan again, and then, kind of leverage a little bit of, I really want to go back to Japan, and can we make this work, and how do we do this with, 2 kids when that time comes? But I think we'll make it happen. So, yeah, the reason why I say this, I'm not much of a convention guy. I think my history is one Comic-Con. I've worked one. What have I done?
Yeah.
What was
You've done a Supernova.
I've worked a Supernova, but I've gone to a Comic-Con.
No. You've worked a Comic-Con and you've gone to a Supernova.
There you go.
Supernova is the pop culture festival in Australia. Josh and I went together to that because we went to go see Jason David Frank.
Yes.
R.I.P. Who played Tommy Oliver, which was the green, white, red, and black Ranger. So, and it was awesome. It was awesome to meet him. Like, it's cool. They say never meet your heroes, but he was actually such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really
stuff
cool.
Signed.
Yes. Yeah. What did you get? So I can't remember now.
So I got my auto flip
yes.
Tommy OG 1995 or 3 set. Yeah, so I got that signed. And you got the Dragon Dagger signed.
The Legacy Dragon Dagger. Yeah, and it's in my display case still.
Signed.
Yeah,
cool.
that was a really cool experience. What about you, Vinny? What's your expertise?
I've done a few of them. So I've gone to a couple of Comic-Cons. I've done a few Supernovas. They used to have Manifest back in the day, which is more of an anime convention. This would be my 3rd PAX in a row.
Oh, wow.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no. 2nd PAX in a row, but 3rd overall.
Okay.
And so I'm a bit of a veteran. I've done a little bit here and there, but I'll say this. You do them once...
and you've done them.
And you do them again, they lose a little bit of their luster. It kind of becomes all the same.
Yeah.
But what really I enjoy is going with the people, because the people make it special. So it was nice to, go with Josh, go with Sam, see a few of my other friends there.
Yeah, you knew a lot of people there. I was just like, what's going on?
Yeah. I know a lot of nerds. You don't have nerd friends besides me.
Not really, no.
Yeah. I'm your closet friend from the rest of your very popular life.
Well,
Mr. Businessman.
I think most people would have assumed me and you would have came out of the closet together at some point. It's funny though.
My father's gay.
Yeah.
The Seinfeld quote.
Always. You got to sneak one in. Yep.
But no, I really enjoyed PAX. I thought it was quite a lot of fun. Our old boss was there apparently that we didn't see.
No. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. So I saw that on Instagram a little bit later. But okay, overall, PAX, good experience. I really liked, what I like about PAX? It's different than the other conventions because it's more interactive. So the other conventions, they do panels, but it's more of like a voice actor panel. They kind of just like a Q&A, nothing really fancy. These panels have a variety. They talk about from game developers to Dungeons and Dragons to speedrunners to it's quite interesting to see the dynamic of people that they have. And then also the indie scene that we saw. So checking out studios who were able to develop games within a year that look really amazing because of game development tools like Unreal Engine 5, Unity. So, and just the fact that it was more, I feel like PAX is very more interactive. And that's why I enjoy about it. Because you got the tabletop area, you got the video game area, you got the museum area as well, which is all the retro games. And you got the booths where it allows you to trial and play games. Yeah. And it's not really a shopping one, which is...
I was going to say, that was my only criticism. And I said this to you on the day. Like, I feel like there was a lack of... I mean, for me, I just think it makes sense. It's like video game retro stuff. Like, people with booths selling... Like, there's stores out there. Like, it just seems like that would make perfect sense. Yeah,
I agree. I thought it probably another stall or two.
Yeah, it just needed one or two, like, hey, we're selling PS1, PS2, Dreamcast, Xbox, like, just stuff like that. I think would have gone a long way.
Yeah, and because you see it from the tabletop scene, like so
they're everywhere. Those are everywhere.
Yeah, because PAX is at Melbourne Exhibition Centre in Victoria, Melbourne, maybe. So, and they had pretty much two huge sheds. One was the computer section that had a lot of the demos. Nintendo was there, Xbox was there,
Sony was there.
Endzone,
Endzone.
Sony with Endzone, and then over the next huge shed, you had the tabletop scene, which had cards and board games. So they do have the retail space.
Yeah, there's plenty of that.
There's plenty of that. They just had it really full of board games and card games. But I do think, like you said, a retro area to buy, sell, trade retro games would have gone a long way. I thought it'd be quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested. I want to go, probably my next convention, I'd be interested to go to like a toy and retro.
Yeah, dude,
there was
I'm
that
down.
Bendigo.
I'm so down.
Yeah, I think there's actually another one coming up in November. I'll send you. I came across it. There's a few actually retro toy video game. Like, I think that's more our style because that will be like combination of video games and retro toys and things like that as well. But I enjoyed it. I think it was like obviously where we are in the world, it's just a different expectation than if this was in parts of America or if you were at a TGS or things like that. But I must say there was representation, I think, from... Oh, I mean, not that I think. I know Microsoft and Xbox and Nintendo really did put on, I think, a pretty good show. And I was actually shocked... Not a show, a good showing. I was shocked by what was there from both of these. So maybe we can probably jump into that. I actually wrote down a few things from my experience with PAX, but let's start with Xbox. There was Microsoft did have an Xbox booth there at PAX, which I was shocked by how much was there. So it was a bit of an experience, kind of like you'll see in the photo that we put up as well. But you line up, you go in, and then they had this kind of play area of multiple different games and setups. So they had like PC, right? They had games running on PCs. So they had like Hollow Knight and a few other things running there. They had Tony Hawk, they had Ninja Gaiden 4 playable, as well as the Rog Ally. So we'll start with, I think Ninja Gaiden 4, because that's probably the one I'm most excited for. Vinny and I both had a chance to play Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm a recent fan of the series and played 2 Remake earlier this year when it launched, as well as Ragebound. So, I mean, as much as I'm not a legacy fan of Ninja Gaiden, I've played plenty of Platinum and Team Ninja games to know what a Ninja Gaiden game is. And this is Ninja Gaiden 4 releasing later this month. It was the opening stage and then a boss fight at the end. Early impressions of the game, I think it's always hard when you get dropped into a demo without like that first initial introduction to all the mechanics and things like that. I actually realized afterwards when I was in the menu that I had the tutorial like pop-ups off. So it's funny, if there was a camera, which there wasn't, if there was a camera recording, there was a guy playing next to me, and I was like trying to read what the tutorials were on his screen because I had none of that popping up.
So you're playing an old school video game, and the fact that it's like disc is in, figure it out.
Yeah.
Cartridge is in,
go for it.
No tutorial.
Yeah. And what I played, the game, it looks really cool. It plays really well.
Very cool.
Hard. Yeah, there was a but. And I don't know if this was just the setup that we were playing on. I don't know if we were playing on PC or an Xbox native, or maybe it was the monitor, perhaps, because I know that can have an influence on latency. There was what I felt was just a slight latency, and I didn't really necessarily feel it in the combat. It was the movement of the character. So a big part of Ninja Gaiden is obviously, positioning and moving on, rapidly and across the battlefield. And I didn't feel that I felt much of a delay in like the ability to parry or to dodge. I was screwing that up, I think mainly because I didn't know which button did what at the time. I was just feeling my way through it. And I managed to beat the first phase of the boss, which the guy even said, like, he goes, not a lot of people do that. But I found like a slight delay in the movement, like on the stick. And again, that might just be the way that the controller was. If it was, if it was wireless to a PC, if it's a PC, if it's an Xbox, it's what monitor we were using. I don't know.
The controller could have a really big dead zone, so it's like really hard to flick it at the front.
Yeah, someone could have gone into the settings and slowed it down, like before I went on. Like, there's all these different things that I don't know, and it isn't something I've heard when I've listened to like people who have previewed Ninja Gaiden 4. If anything, the game's been getting a lot of praise, and I think the game overall, from what I saw at a very quick 10-15 minute kind of sit down was really good. I think it will probably release in the 80s in terms of Metacritic. The only thing I can think that might bite it in the bum is the length of the game, because Platinum can sometimes release very short games. So if they can kind of have a game of quality over, 10-15 hour campaign, maybe that will be fine. But if it comes out and it's like, oh, you can beat this in 5-6 hours, I think the reviews will drop. But Vinny, you played the game as well. Did you have any thoughts, feelings, feedback on the game?
Quite fun. Be my first or second Ninja Gaiden game I've actually played. I think I've played one back in the 360 era, or maybe did I play the 360 era? Was that what it was? Ninja Gaiden? Maybe. But yeah, I played at least one other game, Ninja Gaiden game. This would be my second. That game's hard, man. I had no idea what I was doing. I felt like a baby with a controller, but I eventually got the hang of it. Dodge, parry, roll, all that jazz. But I could not beat that boss. I tried a few times, and then I just threw that thing down. I thought, but graphically very fun. Felt responsive felt quick, felt speedy for me. So I didn't really get that latency. So maybe it was a controller issue or a configuration issue for your particular setup. But I threw in the towel pretty quickly. I just thought,
that's enough.
I'm not going to beat this boss.
Yeah.
Oh, but I am intrigued. Like, you have my curiosity and now you have my attention. So I immediately stepped out of.
You had to pull me out of the room because I didn't realize you left.
Yeah, but I left probably 5 minutes earlier than Josh, and I got to try the ROG Ally. So the Xbox One, the white one.
Which I think is the only one releasing in Australia. Like, when I went on EB's site, that's the only. I'll double check now while we're talking, but that was the only one I saw on the website.
Wow, interesting.
Keep going.
I got to play the Xbox ROG Ally, not the ROG Ally X is what it's called, if I'm right?
The Ally X is the black one. I don't know.
Okay,
let me find out.
I think it's the Xbox ROG Ally or the
ROG Xbox Ally.
Okay.
Is the one we
ROG
played.
Xbox Ally.
And that is the only one I can see for sale at eBay. So the white one at 999 Australian dollars.
Damn.
Pre-sold out. At Point Cook.
So I played that one. Really comfortable in the hands. I was quite surprised how and surprisingly light as well. It felt so, and it played Hollow Knight. That's what it was displaying. Kind of a little bit of a tease there because it's not really graphically intensive. It could run pretty much on a lot of things. So, I wanted to see something that pressed the power a little bit more, but that's fine. But it was funny because me and you did the same thing. But
we played it separately. I was still playing Ninja Gaiden at the time.
Yeah, and I had a hand at the ROG Xbox Ally, whatever.
ROG Xbox Ally.
Yeah, Gods and Monsters.
Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons, Gods Among Us.
Yeah, all that jazz.
Yep.
But I'll leave it to you when you got your hands on it. Like, what was the first thing you did? Because I did a very similar thing.
Yeah, he's like, oh, here it is. Feel free to jump in and play the game. Oh, Hollow Knight just released. I'm like, yeah, I know, mate. Relax. And he handed it over to me. He's like, oh, what are you doing? And the first thing he did, hit the Xbox button and go to the menu. He's like, whoa, don't go into Windows because we'll have to reboot this thing. So the first thing I was interested is like, I want to check the UI. I want to check, what this thing's doing under the seams. But very similar to you, I'm like, man, this feels really good in the hand. I'm so happy that we're getting, I've never been much of a handheld gamer in the sense where I don't like the small screen. And for me, I don't take handhelds anywhere. I play them at home. So having handhelds, that's why the Portal's great. Like, these big, chunky things doesn't bother me because I'm playing them at home anyway. And I just need the bigger screen. I like the controllers feeling. And this has the similar thing to the Portal, right? Where it's got, the actual controller grips.
It's got the ergonomic grips on the back, where it feels a little bit more. It's got that groove that really sits on the hand quite well.
Yeah. I think it's a really impressive device. Like, there's all the kind of discussions like, is this an Xbox? All right, it isn't, right? It's an Asus ROG Ally that is branded Xbox that's running the the new Xbox architecture.
Did you not see that? Did you not see that poster? It says this is an Xbox.
Yeah.
So, and all the and actually when we went into the Xbox booth,
Yes.
they played a little trailer. Funnily enough, they showed a phone that's an Xbox, a computer that's an Xbox, a ROG Ally X that's an Xbox. They showed one other device as an Xbox that I can't remember, but then at the same time, they did not show an Xbox as an Xbox. That was the one thing that got me. It was like the
I didn't
trailer's
notice that.
playing.
It's funny.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no Xbox on this Xbox ad.
Yeah. Well, everything's an Xbox.
And yeah. So, but we were talking about Xbox actual hardware, the Series X being discontinued from stores. So maybe they're like, we don't want to. Yeah, rumored, but pretty much confirmed. So maybe it's the thing where they don't want to even entice the idea of people buying it because they can't be found.
Well, they're losing money on it.
Yeah,
I think this is a really impressive device. It's funny when you said the whole, what they were. I can't remember who I was talking to. I made the most niche cut, deep cut, like a deep cut, like even deep cut where I think if I said it to you, I don't even think you would understand the reference. And it was through the power of remote play, every PS4 game is a Vita game. And that was something that was said at an E3 conference, and I think 2015 about Vita games, and like you can remote play them all on Vita, and I think I said that to someone, like just candidly, like just came out, and he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't worry, I don't expect you to know." I don't think most people would know, but no, I was impressed. I think I'm interested to see how it all works into the back end. It does obviously seem like you can run Windows natively, which would mean you can back boot into Steam and things like that.
That was a question I directly asked. I did ask that about, so you can actually download Steam on here. I was like, yeah, you can download anything. Steam, GOG, Epic, you can download. It's essentially, it is a Windows like OS in the background, so it can run applications.
Yeah, so it really sold to me the vision of like, okay, this is what Xbox is now. Like, this is it. This is when you're going to, if you want a like a gaming laptop or a gaming PC, this will be an option that will be cheaper than those things, but obviously doesn't do the day-to-day PC stuff that a laptop would do, but might be cheaper, right? In terms of, like, if this is $1,000 Australian, how much is a gaming laptop? I'm assuming much more than $1,000, right? Like much an Alienware, it's like $2,500, $3,000. So I think it's a natural endpoint for them that makes the most sense, whilst also being the biggest publisher in the world. So that was the Xbox booth. But I guess moving along in terms of the big three, Nintendo was also there. With what do they had? They had Metroid Prime 4, which we didn't play, but we did see being played in front of us.
Yeah, it looked quite nice.
Yeah, let's start there. What was your, again, we didn't get our hands on the sticks, but what was your thoughts on Prime 4 from what we saw?
I think so. Prime 4 was the Switch 2 edition that was being played.
Yep.
So that's what I saw from the banners up there. I have photos, so correct me if I'm wrong. So not looking at them right now, but it actually looked quite smooth. It actually looked like a very graphically good game. It looked pretty smooth as well in terms of performance, frame rate, all that stuff. But what I was able to see was a little bit of the first-person shooting in a standard Metroid kind of area, so very dense. Saw Samus go into Morph Ball, saw Samus fight a boss. But at the same time, I saw no motorcycles. I saw no open world in that standpoint. So I have no comments on that. But from what I could see from the actual standard Metroid Prime part of the game, it looked really good. It looked very, very good.
Just double check, because I thought this was the case. In docked mode, quality mode, the game runs at 4K 60 frames per second, while in performance mode runs at 1080p at 120 frames per second. So really,
it was running 4K 60.
This is really pushing, like, this is the graphical showcase for Switch 2. It looked great. Looked like more Metroid. I'm a big fan of Metroid, but I'm actually more of a 2D, like, side Metroidvania Metroid guy. But I did play Prime Remake. I haven't played the others, and I will pick this up. But yeah, from what I saw, similar to you, I thought that the game was running really well and looked quite modern.
quite modern. I think
which you'd hope, being a hardware that released not that long ago.
It was the game was rumored to come out. When was it? When did that first? People knew Metroid Prime 4 was coming, and then they saw that
October,
banner.
December? I think it had December on it or October on it or something.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about when it first got announced.
Sorry, I thought you meant there was the recent where it was on the train station.
Oh yeah, no, that was actually quite funny.
Uh.
But no, the one where it had the banner for Prime 4.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh, and it was I think it was like almost 2-3 years ago.
Oh, the game got completely rebooted, right, internally. Like,
it
completely.
Yeah, and so if people don't know, the game went through what is called developer hell in the gaming industry, where it gets remade, rescrapped, rebooted. I think it happened twice.
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
And this is third time's the charm, because the game was supposed to be in the early days of the Switch, if I remember correctly. Is when it was supposed to be rumored, and then the announcement Prime 4 came out halfway through the Switch's life, or maybe I think
it was originally announced as a Switch game, right? Like, in an era where there was no Switch 2.
Exactly. And now it's being released on both platforms, but clearly the one you want to pick up is going to be a 100%. Really good showcase for the Switch 2.
Yeah, and we saw someone playing it in like kind of mouse mode, which was interesting. It's the first time I've ever seen that done. I've never done it with mine. Like, mine's always been handheld or docked. Like, I don't think the Joy-Cons have come off the screen except for when I put them on for the first time.
Yeah, that looked interesting too. It kind of looked like the optimal way to play an FPS.
Yeah,
so
potentially.
Maybe that's the way to go. But also, I'm not going to be that guy who has a desk if I'm playing on a couch.
Yeah, unless you're using the arm of the couch. I've heard it works pretty well on like weird environments, like as in like those old mouses you put on some benches and it doesn't work. Apparently the Switch 2 does in most. So you could potentially use your leg, or I don't know. I'll see. I'll probably just play. I'm not one of those snobs where I'm like, I can't play a first-person shooter with a controller. Like, okay. But Nintendo also had they had Mario Kart World there. They had Galaxy Remake 1 and 2 running.
They had ZA?
Yeah, they had ZA, Pokemon ZA. So they had a fairly large booth.
Yeah. A couple of games that were not released yet, which were quite cool.
Yeah.
Check them out early.
I think with Metroid being there, it's a big seller. But speaking of not being there was one of the big three that was not there. In terms of booth presence, I guess they did have a panel, which we will talk about in a sec. And that was PlayStation, them bastards. They sent Sony there with Crunchyroll and InZone, which is their PC gaming tech, monitors and the rest. But no PlayStation presence at all on the floor. But I guess speaking on PlayStation for just a sec, we did actually sit in on a panel with Rob Davis, the campaign director of Ghost of Yotei at Sucker Punch Productions. How did you find that? It was about an hour spent. Obviously, they had it hosted by some of the Australian gaming. I think Back Pocket is their show. I don't really know who they are, but I saw you make a face. I think you knew one of them, didn't you? Like,
oh yeah, so we randomly met. So one of our friends who does a podcast for his own network, Sandpants Radio, my mate Joel. I saw him just before we entered the PAX, and then one of the girl who was doing who was on the panel, she was with him as like a friend. Yeah. So we were like, me and Sam just kind of looked like, that's her. So I had to do a double take immediately.
Can you get? It was cool. You can get us on one of those. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, that's our goal, to be a PAX next year.
To be a host of one of those things.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and it was funny. Like there was an ability to ask questions, and my question didn't get read out. And I was
some good questions too.
We're laughing about it afterwards because the questions were like obviously, the crowd could submit questions, and all of the questions like, what do you recommend to do in Japan? And
can you pat the wolves?
Can you pat the wolves? And I'm sitting there asking questions like, so it came out that the estimated budget for Ghost of Yotei was roughly 60 million, on par with Ghost of Tsushima. How does Sucker Punch keep the budget of their game so low when compared to Naughty Dog and other questions like that? Where it's like, I think they saw him like, man, what is
Please
it?
No.
We don't even know what this means. So that was funny.
But no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually quite interesting. It was, he had a lot to say about the actual planning of the game and how, like you said, the linearity of the game.
Non-linearity, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. God, that's a mouthful.
Which we didn't say. You will hear me say that in a
Yeah.
future
All right,
episode.
future Josh and Vinny talk about it just a little bit, but and he spoke about how he went to the North, like Hokkaido, he went to, and like he went to actually
Yotei Mountain, yeah.
Yotei Mountain, to actually get inspiration and talk about how like the game needs to be beautiful. It doesn't need to be needs to be like it needs to have essence.
Yeah, and you can feel that. Like he spoke about the wind, right? And the wind has always been a major part of the Ghost games. Like the wind guides you to locations, but he specifically said how harsh the wind was there, and I do feel that in Yotei. I think the use of DualSense and the wind, like it's more harsher. Like you really feel it hitting your character, right? Sucker Punch do some really interesting things with controllers. Like I've always done that. Even going back to like Infamous Second Son used to do it. Like I don't know if you played that. Used to shake the controller to the spray can when Delson Row with graffiti in that game. And then in this one, it's like it's got like the usual rumble and like if you're riding on certain terrain, you can feel that in the controller. But then things like the Yotei 6, for instance, you write their names down on like this sash. And she like, as she kills them, she's, I guess, theoretically going to cross them off. And you like physically write their kanji using the touchpad.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And things like forging your sword or cooking fish, I just skip it. Because I'm like, this was fun the first time, but I don't want to sit there like sparking a flame on my touchpad. Like, okay.
But it's cool because it might be someone's favorite
thing
to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
some weirdo out there. It's like I love touching my touchpad.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah,
splinting. But it was I thought the panel was actually quite well paced for something that was just over an hour. I think they did do. They broke it up really nice with transitions to segments, crowd interaction. Like, I quite enjoyed it because there was like one point I think it was losing my focus in, and then they brought it back with the crowd interaction. They demonstrated parts of the game which were very cool, like things like the bamboo areas that had a little bit more to it that were from Tsushima, but really adapted and added onto it. They were able to show just like you could just see the vast, like the landscaping. The game looked more beautiful than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Maybe I saw it on a nice big projector. Maybe it's that, but I definitely hear people talk about Ghost of Tsushima being a really beautiful game, and Ghost of Yotei.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
seems better.
Very pretty, and takes advantage of PS5 Pro pretty well. I was thinking about it afterwards, like the whole budget thing, and maybe they're a one team, one game studio, so it makes sense they naturally have less people working on a game, and therefore the costs are lower as well. But I also think like they use a lot of mechanics from former games. It's funny, like the climbing and like rope climbing that you see in Yotei, it still has like I still see Infamous and even Sly Cooper in the animations, like the way they kind of magnetize to the rope, like when she jumps on those things. So I think they very cleverly like iterate whilst generating new IP, but kind of keeping the fundamentals, because you could climb walk along a rope on Sly Cooper and Infamous, and now the Ghost series, right? Like there's certain mechanics that drop through. Like Yotei has the whole like rock falling mechanic that was in Uncharted 4, so maybe they borrowed some of that tech. I don't know. And another thing I noticed around their game as well, whilst being very pretty, like a lot of Sony's first party games are fully, what's the word I'm looking for? Mocapped in all their cutscenes.
Yeah.
Where Ghost kind of does that thing where it's like interactions with NPCs is like they're animated, as opposed to being like in engine cutscenes that are played out with a real actor on a mocap stage. So like you can tell the difference between that, right? And that's
the thing where it's like, and that's the thing where you're cutting costs necessarily, where it's really. That's fine. No one really cares about what when you talk to an NPC in a non-really dramatic or point of the game. You're just doing that thing to advance a story. They're saying, hey, what are you doing? Get my cat out of this tree
Yeah,
for me,
or I'm
please.
talking to a merchant. Like it doesn't need to be
Full mocap.
yeah,
And
full mocapped. Yeah.
and that's where it's really like smart, where it's you spend your money where you need to spend it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not just spending it for the sake of we have money to throw around. We have a budget. It's like, no, let's use the budget for the parts we actually need that need to look good, that really benefit from the motion capture, that really benefit from things that really make you feel and look human to some degree, where you're able to advance the story and have that kind of interaction, have that empathy for the character who you're playing as.
And the last point, Rob Davis was Australian, which was funny as well. I didn't realize that leading into it. He was originally from Brisbane, I think he said. And then travelled. Man, what a dream come true to be campaign director at Sony First Party Studio. Humble beginnings. Was there anything else, Vin, from PAX that you wanted to... That was everything I had on my list. But was there any standouts? Some of the indie stuff you were playing, was there anything in that you wanted to...
So I really enjoy going to the indie developer section at PAX. I find it quite cool to see how like people have spent their last year of their time and what they're developing and how they have interesting ideas.
No budget, no money.
No budget, no money, but they have the grants from our government and stuff and certain universities where they're able to design a game. And like I said, what they're able to put into a year of development that looks so good. Like we played the Survive the Night, I think it was called.
Yeah, that was the one that jumped to my mind as like the most playable, not in the sense of like physically being able to play it, but it looks like something I could see people playing in my mind's eye, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And it played very much like a tower defense game that had a little bit isometric top-down view, which Josh pointed out, saying it would be up my alley. But it was given... They mentioned it being almost kind of like a roguelite tower defense.
Yeah, you kind of prep during the day. Enemies, I think we spoke to the game director, I guess. He said that the enemies turn to stone during the day. So you use that time to kind of plan. And then the days get shorter and shorter. So there's less time to plan. And then during the nights when the enemies come in. And that's probably more the tower defense kind of survival roguelite side of it.
Yeah. Quite enjoyed that. There was another game that had really cool artwork. Not so much the gameplay seemed a little bit boring. It was a puzzle game. Can't remember what the game was. It was like based on the zodiac signs, though. I'm gonna have to.
Art design was incredible. I'm like, this looks like it was like Hades.
Yeah, and it was cool because one of the people we spoke to, she did the art design for like some of it at least.
Oh, for Hades.
Design. No, for that
game.
For
the game that we saw. Yeah. Okay. Man.
Yeah, right.
It's from Supermassive Studios to an independent 2-team person. Doesn't say. Pretty impressive. But no, it was like, mate, like I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not a big fan of Hades that much, but from my eye, it just looked like, this looks very similar to that style. But it was done really well. Like I'm not saying that as like they just copied that, but I'm like, it was impressive. Yeah,
and there was another game I played. It was Bones, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And that game was very much a Little Nightmares inspired. And it was funny when I spoke about it to the guy. He's like, "Oh, that's kind of what this game is."
Yeah, he's like, that is literally what we were inspired by.
I'm like, "Oh, perfect." I'm like, "Well, you guys have done a good job."
Yeah.
I'm like,
"Oh, it was like good job, Vinnie, for got an eye for that."
Yeah, true. Yeah, eye for gaming in the right place. But no, I quite like checking out that scene. I thought it was really cool. There was definitely more I wanted to play, but I kind of feel like either there was like a long line for something or a little bit strapped for time. And it was honestly, the day is long and it's quite exhausting. And we got in at about 11. I had a friend who did all 3 days, went to the after party on Sunday night, and then he took Monday off. He actually stayed in the city.
Man,
like he's like about it.
Yeah,
and good on them.
Good on them. There would be very limited things in my life that I'll be that much about. Like,
what if there was a Sony 3-day expo?
If it was a PlayStation 3-day expo and I had a reason to do it for 3 days, I'd do it. But most things, I reckon, a day's enough.
Yeah.
Only if you're there for the thing. Like, if you're there for the vibes, the energy, and being around people, then, yeah, you could spread that across 3 days, which sounds like what your friend did.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was enough. But, no, overall, I think I really enjoyed. I'd be happy to go again. It was just fun to hang out and have a reason to kind of just check out things. And, like I said, got my hands on Ninja Gaiden and the new Ally X. No, Rog X, Box Ally, not the X. That was enough for me. Like, that was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the only benefit I would see from having a 3-day pass is that if you genuinely like the paneling, or there was a guest speaker on one day and you would see another guest speaker on another. I know one of my friends was either doing a panel or was supposed to do promotion work at one point on the Saturday, so he had a 3-day pass for all 3 days. But yeah, I think if you really enjoy the behind the scenes, if you like a good behind the scenes, do PAX, the paneling, instead of the floor, just sit down, go watch a couple of people talk about video games, talk about how like the video game development in Australia, how it develops in other countries.
Yeah, Team Cherry and even the guys that did Cult of the Lambs, they're Australian teams. It's funny, when you said all this, like, I remember that, whatever it was, the Supernova, whatever, Comic-Con, whatever one I went to, the gaming section, I remember that was the year Xbox One PS4 were coming out. And the Xbox stand was literally just a green room with the console sitting in a glass box. That was it. So we've come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've come a long way. And you know what? Hopefully next year might be a bit bigger, because PAX on a Saturday sold out again. And I think 3-day passes sold out. So there's clearly enough of an appetite there. So hopefully that they see a lot of traction from other studios, developers. Maybe Xbox comes back. Maybe Sony sees some idea to go there, because if it's 2026, then what's coming out next 2027? New consoles, so maybe they might see some advertising for them. Yeah. Who knows?
But if you're hearing this from PAX and you work at PAX, and you want someone to host your panel, and if you want them to ask proper questions, not proper questions, I shouldn't say that. I probably necessarily wouldn't ask that question anyway, because it is very much in the weeds. But if you need people to host panels for some established, I think Randy Pitchford was there as well from Borderlands.
He was.
Good on him. If you're a Randy Pitchford fan. But yeah, no, overall, I think we both, clearly had a good time. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here. Vinny's itching to finish packing his bags for his Japan trip. So we wish him the very best. Enjoy your travels. Yes. Stay safe. Buy me plenty of things.
Thank you. And I'll keep an eye out for all your Uncharted's and your PlayStations and your
FIFAs. Yeah, that's me, FIFA. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Check out our previous videos. We've done a whole bunch of different things. We've ranked PlayStation IP. We've designed our own Power Rangers game. We did an Expedition 33 spoiler cast back in the day. I think that was our first episode. So if you haven't already, check out the channel. Dodge, Parry, and Roll. Vinny, if you want to round us out.
Let's do it. May the power protect you.
Bye.